Welcome, future thinker. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss an episode. Let's dive straight into today's idea. In a world where biology and electronics are converging, printed circuit biology, or PCB, is reshaping our understanding of what's possible. Imagine integrating living cells with printed circuit boards to create hybrid systems that sense, compute, and respond in entirely new ways. This field stems from a revolutionary insight. Biological matter isn't just messy, it's programmable. Scientists now print conductive pathways directly onto biological substrates, allowing cells to act as sensors and processors. These circuits interface with microbial communities, enabling diagnostics and actuation at microscopic scales. Have you ever imagined electronics not as cold, rigid systems, but as living, breathing networks that evolve with their environment? What if your clothing could monitor your health in real time, or even respond to it? At MIT, researchers printed electrodes directly onto bacterial biofilms that detect toxins. In 2023, they demonstrated E. coli circuits sensing arsenic with real-time amplification and wireless. Another pioneering effort published in Nature described a graphene cell hybrid patch that responds to glucose fluctuations dynamically. These aren't science fiction, they're working prototypes pushing the edge of applied biology. And just last year, bioengineers in Japan used silk fibrin and microfluidic circuits to print sensors inside living insects, guiding their motion using neural stimuli. Could insect-scale drones become cyber-biological agents of the future? But what challenges come with embedding life into circuitry? First, biosafety. Living cells can mutate or spread. We need programmable constraints and kill switches to contain synthetic organisms. A single coding error in a gene circuit could turn an asset into a liability. Second, data integrity. Biological sensors are influenced by temperature, pH, humidity, even hormones. Their precision depends on layered calibration protocols and redundant sensing pathways. Third, public acceptance. Not everyone is ready to adopt devices that grow, respond, and perhaps even evolve. Transparent regulation, ethics boards, and strong risk communication will be essential. Would you trust a medical device that contains living bacteria? What would it take for you to say, yes, I'm ready? Now, let's look at the technologies enabling all this. PCB systems use materials like graphene, conductive polymers, and silk proteins, chosen for their biocompatibility, flexibility, and electrical performance. Inkjet printers deposit these at micron precision onto substrates like cellulose films or hydrogels. Cells are embedded and interfaced with these circuits via chemical conjugates or microfluidic scaffolds. The result? Systems that respond to glucose levels, toxins, stress hormones, even brain waves. For example, in agriculture, UC Berkeley researchers printed circuits into spinach leaves to detect explosives. When exposed to nitroaromatic compounds, the leaves transmitted infrared signals to a mobile device. And in healthcare, patches under development sense inflammation and auto-dispense anti-inflammatory drugs like cortisol or curcumin. Printed hydrogels respond to interleukin levels using logic gates built with DNA strands. DevTip designs systems with modularity, biological and electronic parts that can be hot-swapped, updated, or layered. Use microfluidic adapters and genetic logic gates with kill codes. What if your smartwatch hosted an evolving microbiome to personalize health recommendations based on your immune activity? Or your running shoes adjusted grip and cushioning based on bacterial responses to pressure and sweat? The future is rich with applications. Adaptive clothing, diagnostic tattoos, air filtering surfaces in smart homes, urban algae sensors, even self-healing electronics embedded in roadways. But the roadmap isn't just technical. It requires bold regulation, open science, and ethical frameworks that evolve with the tech. Think FDA plus IEEE plus UNESCO, working together. Universities must adapt too. New interdisciplinary programs are emerging that mix biology, electrical engineering, AI, and public policy. It's no longer enough to code or culture cells. We need people who can do both. Are we training the next generation of biocircuit designers? If you're a developer, researcher, or entrepreneur, now's the time to act. Prototype with open platforms like OpenPlant, IGEM, and BioBricks. Share your circuits. Open source your data. Search Archive, PubMed, IEEE Explore using keywords like printed circuit biology, living electronics, biointegrated systems. Citizen science could thrive here. Imagine crowdsourcing microbial patches to detect allergens, or a global network of biosensing textiles monitoring air pollution trends. As we wrap up, imagine a world where printed circuits and living cells form a symphony of sensing, actuation, and adaptation, not just in labs, but in your home, your clothes, your city. This is the living edge of conscious tech. Thanks for staying to the end. Like, subscribe, and share if this sparked new insight. Think deeper, act brighter.